95% of the people who walk through our doors want to lose weight, and we want to help 100% of those people achieve their goals. How do we do that? First, it's important to distinguish between nutrition principles and nutrition tactics. Most people jump straight to nutrition tactics when they want to lose weight. A nutrition tactic is a method or diet plan you can follow that will get you results. And tactics do work. Some work better than others. Some examples of tactics are the paleo diet, the keto diet, eating fewer than 100 grams of carbs per day. But before choosing a tactic at Steel, we look at the Steel nutrition principles. Principles are a group of guidelines that we stick to when suggesting diet changes. And by following principles, we can guarantee success while having the option of choosing from a variety of tactics. This ensures the plan we come up with is ideal for you. What are the Steel principles? There are 5 of them. 1, eat mostly real food. 2, eat the right amount of food for your goals. 3, eat the right amount of protein for your goals. 4, avoid foods that make you feel bad. 5, make your nutrition plan enjoyable. Let's dive into each one. Number 1, eat mostly real food. I think this one is pretty straightforward, but we want to eat foods that I would call single ingredient foods, or foods that are on the outside, the perimeter of the grocery store. Things like meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, fruits, rice, potatoes. Again, things that are single ingredient foods that you can find in nature, foods that God created, and not foods that man has made, like Fritos, Doritos, and Oreos. So 80+% of your food should come from real food. And really, there's 2 reasons for this. Number 1, it's healthier. You've got nutrients in it. It's much healthier for you. And it's also just going to leave you more full, more satisfied. If you ate nothing but junk food, you're going to feel terrible. You're going to get sick because you're not getting the nutrients that you need. And you're not going to be full, which is going to make it harder to stick to point number 2. Number 2 is eat the right amount of food for your goals. This one is key because a lot of people say, I don't understand why I'm not losing fat, Nate, because I'm eating healthy, or I eat pretty healthy. But over the years of training people, I've come to realize that that statement doesn't mean much to me, because that means something completely different to each person. So this is what ensures fat loss: eating the right amount of food for your goals. And when I say amount, I'm going to be referring to calories. Now, calories are just a unit of measure for energy. Okay, there's calories in our food. It's what gives us energy. And we store excess calories in the form of fat, which is a usable form of calories or energy for our body, or that our body can pull from when it needs it. And so you want to eat the right amount of food for your goals. So, like I said, 95% of people want to lose weight. Well, if you want to lose weight, you have to create what's called a calorie deficit. What this means is you have to be eating fewer calories than you are expending every day. Okay? So this is dependent on the individual. Everybody's different how many calories they burn per day. Everybody's different as to how many calories and how much of a calorie deficit or how many calories below that number it takes to maintain your body weight. Everyone can tolerate different amounts. But there's a good website that I will include in this document that helps you get a good starting place for what your calories should be at. But you do want to make sure you're eating the right amount of food for your goals. If your goal is fat loss and you're eating super healthy, all single ingredient foods, you're eating all real foods, and even if you don't feel like you're eating a lot, if you're eating too many calories, you will not lose fat. Okay? If you want to gain weight, you eat in excess of calories. If you want to maintain your weight, you eat at your maintenance level of calories. And if you want to lose weight, lose fat, you've got to create a calorie deficit. You have to eat fewer calories than you are burning every day. Point number 3, eat the right amount of protein for your goals. Protein is very important. Protein is definitely important for building muscle. Most of us know that. That's why all these supplement companies market to fitness buffs, people that like to work out, market their protein powders, because protein is important for building muscle. But I would argue, and I think the science supports this, that protein is actually even more important for fat loss. So there's several reasons why we want to make sure we're eating enough protein for our goals. Number 1, whether you're trying to build muscle, whether that's your primary goal, gain weight and build muscle. Maybe you're a scrawny kid like I was when I started and you're trying to gain weight and build muscle. Or whether you're trying to, like most of our clients, lose fat. Your goal in the gym should be to build muscle, because muscle is what's going to give us that lean, toned, defined look that we want. That increased muscle mass is going to boost our metabolism, which is going to make losing weight and maintaining that weight loss much, much easier. We'll be able to lose fat and maintain our weight at a higher amount of calories than we would had we not built that muscle. Well, protein is the building block of muscle. And so, we train in the gym. That creates a stimulus for the body to adapt. And then we eat enough protein. We give our body the building blocks we need to be able to recover and build that muscle optimally. Okay? So that's what we're going for. Okay? Got to get enough protein to build that muscle and recover from your workouts. The second reason is that protein is the most filling macronutrient. Protein will keep you more full than carbohydrates or fats. And I see this many times. A lot of our clients are females, and a lot of females struggle to get enough protein. And what I found is as soon as we increase their protein intake, it becomes much, much easier for them to both recover from their workouts and eat less, because they are full, they are satisfied. It's important to eat enough protein to both stay full and to be able to recover from your workouts. And then number 4 is going to be avoid foods that make you feel bad. This is simple. Eat foods that make you feel good. And I don't mean, ice cream makes me happy. I mean, I like some ice cream. But I'm mostly referring to foods that make you feel bloated, lethargic, foggy, achy joints, anything like that. Any foods that cause inflammation, that cause, GI distress, upset stomach, again, any of those things, then you shouldn't eat that food. At least you should avoid it most of the time. And so those symptoms would be GI/stomach issues, digestive issues, bloating, gas, achy joints, brain fog, fatigue. If foods make you feel like that, don't eat them. Number 5, make your nutrition plan enjoyable. So make sure you enjoy what you're doing, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick to it. And there is an element when it comes to eating that you need to eat like an adult. And sometimes being an adult means doing things that you don't necessarily feel like doing, but you need to do because it's important. We do this with work, we do this with our marriages, we do this with our kids, and we should do it with our health as well. You need to do what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. But at the same time, you should try to make that as enjoyable as possible. Eating should be a pleasure, not a punishment or a deprivation thing. So choose foods that you enjoy, and choose those single ingredient foods that you enjoy. For me, I love steak. So I get steak and I splurge on steak, because if I don't spend money on steak, I'm going to spend way more money on eating out. So that's the way that I make my plan enjoyable. I also eat ice cream on a regular basis. That's my, non-single ingredient food that I love. But choose foods that you love so that you find your diet much easier to stick to. And if you follow these 5 nutrition principles, you can really do anything you want with your diet, and you will lose fat and you'll enjoy the process. And most importantly, you'll keep the weight off.